right, you guys? Podcast time.
Chew. It's quieter.
Fucking podcasting right now.
Chew quieter.
And now, to the podcast studio.
Hello, everyone. This is True Quieter, and today we have a special guest with us. He might look familiar to some of you, but if you've heard us pitch on the show liftedforless.com, this is why. This is the man. This is Austin Dixon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem, man. So, as you know, everyone knows, we give a shout out to our sponsor at the beginning of each show. So, you want to talk about liftedforless.com really quick?
Sure, I guess I get the honors this time. So it kind of, how this all happened was I was laid up, had a back surgery, and I was like, I got to do something to support my family here. And what do I know? I know Jeeps, right? So I've been very blessed to have a lot of connections in the industry with Jeremy and Jake, and it was kind of born from that. So I found it frustrating. I go to buy things online, and customer service is mighty difficult with the big companies with a lot of questions, So I thought I could fill a need there and just help customers out that way and only carry quality stuff, and that's where Lifted for Less was born. So pretty excited to get that going.
How did you determine which lines you were going to carry?
Well, definitely the vast majority of the products I have are made in America. So I spent a lot of time at Jeep events and things like that and built my own rigs, and I've over the years figured out what's quality and what's not. And definitely a big fan of the rock crawler suspension stuff, so we do a lot with them. And Savvy Off-Road, of course, made in America, bumpers, and all the stuff that I've personally had experience with. That's the vast majority of the catalog on the website. So yeah.
And of course you have a Raptor, so you had to carry truck stuff.
The Raptor,
we were just talking,
man.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, and you were maybe thinking about towing with it, and Armando was like, ugh, maybe not.
Yeah, I haven't had experience towing with it yet. I got a little side-by-side Razor 1000. I bet it could handle that, but I don't know about much more. But damn, is that thing fast, I tell you that.
Yeah, they're fun to drive. I'd like to buy that Ranger Raptor, but I have a feeling I'd get in trouble with it. So if I'm going to get in trouble with something, I think I'd rather have just a smaller, sportier car that I can possibly get away from a cop in.
I think Jeremy just got one of those, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. It's a nice looking truck.
Not too bad.
No, not at all. Armando, talk about Rub One really quick.
Rub1.com, rub-1.com. Just all your cleaning and detailing supplies for your Jeep, truck, side-by-side, Bronco, even works for your cars. So don't be afraid to use it on the old lady's commuter. It's
I thought you were going to say something else.
The puns never get old with this. I'm telling you that.
No. The name had to bring itself out to something. So
it's brilliant.
That was the one thing I kept going through over names and looking at domain names to buy the domain, and it was like, okay, what's gonna work? What's gonna work for this one? And then what's available too. So Rub One without the dash isn't used, but someone has it. They're trying to sell it. And there was like $10,000 for a website. I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. We'll put a dash in it. And the dash actually exists on the logo, with the little star between it, and that creates the dash. So, I'm having a hard time with Amazon in my brand registry because the logo says Rub One, and they say, well, there's no dash. And I go, that's a dash right there. And I zoomed it up, and it's black between there. And I go, that's the dash. And I send it back to them, and they go, okay, that's fine. But it doesn't match exactly. I'm like, you have all
Come
my
on,
paperwork.
Bezos.
Fucking really? But no, just going good. I got we showed the AR, the Master Blaster AR last week.
Love that.
So a few of those. So if you're looking to get a fun toy to shoot at your car, Master Blaster arrows out there now, ready to go.
Sweet.
So
Today is day 2 of Milton landfall for Austin and everyone else in Florida. How did that pan out for you? Everything, house is safe and everything?
Yeah, so we're pretty far south, so it kind of missed us. We had a little bit of wind, some trees down, stuff like that, but nothing crazy. But areas like Tampa, which is probably 3-4 hours from us here, they got hit pretty hard.
So Jake is just south from you, I think, right? Or
Yeah.
was he north?
Jake's
he's
about
not affected.
20 minutes south of me. He got nothing, and yeah, together we're probably half hour from Miami.
Okay. And did you have the family leave just in case, or did everyone stay?
No. It's funny down here, like, you kind of gauge by what your old neighbors do. So you just kind of watch them and see if they're putting their shutters up. And when the old guy in the neighborhood's paying somebody to put his shutters up, you're like, all right, let's put the shutters up, man. But we got nothing. It was really not that bad for us.
That's good. So yesterday you and I were talking about, you turned me on to Lieutenant Dan.
Yes.
And there's been a lot of stuff going on since yesterday about him. Some of the video, it looks like, was from September, from the prior hurricane.
Yeah, so I guess he rode out the first hurricane and was successful, and there wasn't a whole lot of coverage of that. And then he decides he wants to do it again, which at the time when he decided this, it was a Cat 5 coming directly at Tampa. So ballsy move, to say the least. Yeah. But he claims God told him to be there and get in this little rinky sailboat and just ride it out. Balls of
Is
steel.
he homeless?
For those that don't know who this guy is, he's just he's a guy with one leg.
Yeah.
And he's on it's a sailboat. It doesn't even have a motor or anything, no propeller.
Unregistered.
Unregistered too.
Yeah.
He looks like...
How is that still in the water in Tampa? I would think Tampa would be like
I think the
a
cops
place where you'd get...
Yeah, I think the cops are gracious enough to give him a little slack for the last 6 months, but I don't know about now that he's famous. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he'll get on a couple talk shows and get a new boat, get a red shirt. He'll be fine.
It looks like he might have been a crackhead at one point. Maybe on drugs quite a bit.
He looks like he's homeless.
Yeah.
He does.
He looks like he's fucking homeless.
So there's been a couple involvements since he survived, and I've learned that another podcaster has offered him up to a $100,000 boat and a streaming deal on Kick. So...
Yeah, told you.
Yeah,
we'll see.
So I have video of an update on that. Let me share that really quick because this is kind of interesting. It looks like the guy backed out. Check this out.
Telling you he's not getting you a boat no more.
He came to me. I never went to him. He offered it to me. I never asked for it. So then he turned around and he started singing about my history. Well, you should have did that before you made the offer. You know, if you're worried about your image and who you have working for you, you should have done your due diligence and looked me up before you made me an offer of $100,000 sign-on bonus, $50,000 a month with a $100,000 boat. And I'm gonna let you go because I don't care about that. So I'm gonna tell you
He took the money away too?
Huh?
He took the $100K.
As far as I know, everything.
Oh wow!
You know, and that's the thing. I mean, I didn't ask you for it. You offered it. I agreed to do what you asked me to do. You asked me to be on Kick 100 hours a month. I agreed. I said, no problem. I'll do it. I'm down for that. We agreed. And then all of a sudden, the next thing I hear and see on the internet is how you're disgusted with my history and that deal is done.
So what about your history that disgusts him so bad? Because we all got a history. Nobody closet clean.
I went to prison.
So his history is something that is also a mystery because he talks about a little bit about right here what it is, but it just came out too that he may have been arrested for pedophilia or child porn and kidnapping.
This took so many crazy turns, man.
Yeah, the story's going to go on for a while, I think. So I'll let him talk about this side of his history.
Jail time, but I have to tell you, point blank, God to my soul, I'm innocent of all the charges. I was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer. He said I punched him in the nose. I never even saw the cop. He beat the hell out of him from behind. And then I went to prison for a year and a day on a battery on a Leo charge. And I never even saw him. But the thing is this is where karma and God are real. Because the bartender who started it all, the manager, and the arresting officer were all the witnesses. While I went to prison for 5.5 months, a 43-year-old bartender had a massive heart attack in his sleep and died.
Oh my God.
The cop, who was a street cop.
So in other words, he's kind of like, this is karma, bitch. God gave you a heart attack and you died.
You died. Oh, jeez.
This guy, I don't know much about him, obviously, but he seems like someone that me and Armando would have like he would have been one of our uncles or something.
He would have been in the hood. Yeah, freaking hood dude.
Absolutely.
To wear the sheriff thing across his chest and have the gun and the boots and the military. He's now behind the desk at the substation in Lake Worth. So that when you walk in, he's like, "How can I help you?" Tell me that ain't a demotion.
Right.
And on top of that, he looks like he's got cancer.
Oh my God.
And that ain't my fault. I didn't do nothing to you.
Right.
You know what? Karma bit you on the ass because you got to understand it. Because I punched you in the nose and you know damn well I didn't do it. Never even saw you.
That's crazy.
Somehow I don't trust him.
Yeah. He's definitely hood.
Yeah. I don't know.
Tampa has a lot of hood.
Man,
I just don't know how much of the story is true or not. I mean, there's so many different videos of him out there, and all the videos have different timestamps. So there's some that say that it was Milton. Some are saying that it was Helene. So, I mean, it might be both.
Yeah, I think
he might just be
both.
that crazy.
I was rooting for him in the beginning, but, with these latest developments, I'm not sure I can be a fan of Lieutenant Dan anymore. But
I don't know if I could be a fan. I could be amused.
Yeah, definitely. Now, how did he lose his leg?
That's what I'd like to know, too. Maybe it was karma.
Yeah. Zing.
Yeah, it was karma from his kidnapping.
Karma
days.
bit him in the ass.
Yeah. But it's just funny. There's people. I don't know when this video was taken, but they're just calling him out from the shoreline, and his boat's right there, just crashing against this pylon.
All right, it's 9 o'clock. We got 3 hours until high tide. We're checking in on Lieutenant Dan. His boat. Let's listen a little. Dan! Lieutenant Dan! Are you in there? There he is! Dan! We need an interview. There he is. There's our guy. Oh, look at him! How we doing? What are you doing up there?
On this side of the pole, it's actually still low tide.
It says it's still low tide, but it's a 3 hours high tide. Buddy. His boat is on the donkey. What do you guys say? You're doing great, man. I know, right? Look at this setup he's got. You might end up in the parking lot of Publix in a few hours.
Oh, he's got a trolling motor on it. I just saw that.
This guy's a creature.
Look at this. He's got a motor on the back.
He's got a little motor on the back.
It's not even like regulation for that thing. It's a sailboat. He just jerry rigged a motor on there.
That's the most Florida thing I've ever seen.
Florida man.
Florida.
Yes. In the news today, Florida man with one leg.
Do you think he can swim with one leg? Or does he swim in a circle?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The real Lieutenant Dan could swim with no legs.
That's true, man. He
had his sea legs.
Yeah, he did like a backstroke into the sunset.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you imagine though if all of a sudden your long lost brother becomes viral on TikTok because he's homeless, but he's living in a boat that was just given to him, might be stolen, who knows? You're like, oh, wait a minute, there's my brother. What's my brother? Well, my brother lost a lot of weight. I wonder what happened to him. My brother looks like he's on crack. What happened to my brother's leg?
You gotta
Karma,
find
bitches.
that. You gotta find it's out there somewhere on the internet how he lost his leg for sure.
We should take bets on how he lost it. Shark attack?
Something alcohol related.
Yeah, he was on a moped, drunk, and he crashed into a boat.
No way.
That would be my guess.
So he's living in the very thing that took his leg away.
That would be funny if it was that boat. What if it was an alligator or a shark that got his leg?
Yeah, very well could be.
Yeah. But that leg does not look like it's been taken care of very well. It looks like it was a very botched job there. Because, I mean, he still has a piece dangling. I've seen people that are amputees, and they cut it right at the knee. It looks like there's still like 6 inches of bone still below the knee.
Yeah, I wonder what the advantage is of that.
Skin.
He lost his leg in a car accident when he was 16. His left leg amputated below the knee when he was 16 following a car accident.
I was close. I said moped.
They didn't say what kind of car.
Yeah, it still could be a moped.
They didn't say if alcohol was involved either.
For sure it was involved.
100% it was. There was more than alcohol involved, probably too.
He's probably friends with that guy on the skateboard that drunk the Capri Sun to Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yes, I love that guy.
I bet you they're related.
What's his name? Dog something?
Dogface.
Dog face.
Yeah. I don't think I'd go around telling people my name is Dogface, even if I was Dogface ugly. Then again, Pretty Boy Floyd was not pretty. So I guess you can give yourself any nickname you want.
Yeah.
Armando's nickname is Flacco.
Flacco? No. It was never that happened.
For those that don't know, Flacco is skinny in Spanish.
Maybe when I graduated high school.
Maybe. You had hair then.
I had hair. And
no goatee.
No goatee. And 140 pounds wet.
Did you play sports? You look like a sports guy.
I played baseball like most of my life, but the summer before going into high school, I broke my foot and it never really healed right. So I missed out first year of baseball. I was out there, but I couldn't play, so I ended up like not being able to play. And then you don't play your first year, you're kind of done.
Yeah.
So, and then second year, I was like, I wasn't fast, and that made me not any faster.
Makes sense.
So, it just pulled back out of it. But yeah, that was my thing was baseball.
So you
and then he discovered Tommy's.
You could have been Lieutenant Dan. Like if things went south, yeah, it could have been you.
Could have been me. Yeah.
If you ever go to LA, Austin, you got to find this place called Tommy's Burgers.
Okay.
There's one in the hood, in like near downtown. There's one in Whittier, California, in the hood. There's another one.
Whittier or Pico?
I think that might be Pico, actually.
It might be Pico Rivera.
Yeah. But what it is, they put chili on your burgers. It's like Texas chili. There's no beans on it. Okay. It's just
chili sauce.
Yeah. But it's a good time for your butthole because as soon as it goes in, it comes out.
Yeah.
And then they put chili in the fries and a slice of American cheese that gets melted on top of the chili.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you get the bag of the little yellow peppers, and that just all mixes together, and it's a great time for your stomach and your nose.
Yeah.
I could not handle that.
Your
No
butthole
chance.
just screams for a while, and it's speaking Spanish.
No chance. No chance.
Speaking Spanish. That was fucking stupid. So I don't know if you're into politics, Austin, but recently this King John Ping chick, whatever the fuck I pronounce her name, this black chick from the White House, she's been caught in a few lies recently. I don't know if you've noticed that. Did you hear about any of these?
I did. I forget what exactly it was. Remind me.
So the first one was they're lying basically about the FEMA funds. So I'll play an example of that really quick.
It's just categorical. No, Biden did not take FEMA relief money to use on migrants. So FEMA regional administrators have been meeting with city officials on site to coordinate available federal support from FEMA and other federal agencies. Funding is also available through FEMA's emergency food and shelter program to eligible local governments and non-for-profit organizations upon request to support humanitarian relief for migrants. It's just categorically full. No, Biden did.
So she's been telling these stories that just, she forgets that we're in an era now that you can be videotaped and
It
things
gets saved.
can be called out. Yeah.
It gets saved. Shit gets saved.
Well, as long as she can keep using the buzzword categorically false, anything she says after that is just validated because she said that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So, Peter Ducey, the Fox reporter, had a very awesome interaction with her that kind of spread a little bit. Check this out really quick.
Peter Ducey is asking questions of Karine Jean-Pierre. Let's listen.
Who are wrongfully detained.
By the way, look at her outfit. She looks like she was in the 1930s zoot suits.
She
looks like the pimp.
Riots.
It's like the pimp. It's like the pimp costume you get at the the Halloween store. You get the pimp costume. It has a purple shirt and a striped jacket.
I think Jake has one of those.
Jake probably has one of those too.
He wore it at the last wedding that he officiated and called the bride by the wrong name.
We love you, Jake.
Kinda, yeah, I guess. Check this out.
And held hostage. And again, frankly, we have had an extraordinary record of doing just that. And that's going to be the president's top priority.
And on this issue of funding, the administration has money to send to Lebanon without Congress coming back. But Congress does have to come back to approve money to send to people in North Carolina. Do I have that right?
Here's what I'm going to be very clear about. The president and the vice president has had a robust whole of government response to this. Hundreds of millions of dollars. I said it at the top, more than $200 million that we have directly put towards survivors here for disaster help. And that's because of this president's commitment to make sure that we are there for communities that are impacted. We take this very seriously again. We take this very seriously.
She thinks this was a gotcha.
Before the hurricane hit, we pre-positioned more than 1,500 federal folks on the ground to help. And so we have made sure that every state has gotten their storm requested emergency declaration. They requested it, and we made sure they received it. We've taken this very seriously. More than $200 million that we have provided to the impacted areas. But instead, people want to do disinformation, misinformation, which is dangerous, because then
you can see Peter's face, like,
he's like,
wait a
oh,
minute,
this
hold on
stupid
a second.
bitch. He's all this stupid bitch. He's about to get taken down.
When folks on the ground hear that, they may not want to ask for the help that they need. That is there for them. That's our focus here.
But President Biden is fond of saying, show me your budget and I will tell you what you value. If he's got money for people in Lebanon right now, without Congress having to come back, what does it say about his values? There's not enough money right now for people in North Carolina who need it. That's not misinformation.
Wait, no, that is your whole premise of the question is misinformation, sir. What you don't, yes, it's misinformation.
Is there money to send to Lebanon right now?
I just mentioned to you that we provided.
So basically, what she's saying is, what you're saying is categorically correct, but we can't admit to it, so we're saying that it's misinformation.
Misinformation. Yeah.
It's funny how they rely on that constantly, right?
Yeah.
Everything's misinformation if it's against their agenda.
Yeah.
More than $200 million to folks who are impacted in the area. And I just shared with you that people are deciding not to, wait.
To Congress that there's not enough money to help people
We're
in North
talking
Carolina
about the SBA disaster loan.
That's money for people in North Carolina.
And that's important. And people in North Carolina need that. Wait, this is nothing new. Peter, this is nothing new. Congress comes together. They provide money, millions of dollars, for disaster relief. We're asking them to do the job that they have been doing for some time.
From a letter that President Biden
doing
sent to
for
Johnson,
some
McConnell,
time.
Schumer, and Jeffries. The president's letter is not misinformation. Would you agree?
No, the way you're asking me the question is misinformation. There is money that we are allocating to the impacted areas, and there's money there to help people who truly need it. There are survivors who need the funding.
This bitch is something else. Like, I don't know why she thinks.
Yeah, 10 billion can go over here, but we'll go 200 million. And making 200 million seem like it's more is what she's like. It's 200 million. Yeah, but 10 billion is way more.
I'm at loss what even to say at this point. Like, we've gotten so far gone.
So she got Beetlejuice. Check this out.
Palestinians can live securely side by side in a lasting peace with equal measures
The internet is so undefeated. I don't know who did this.
Now, moving on to...
She looks like Kanye with that big suit.
Oh my God, you're right.
President Harris continue to...
So for people that are only listening to this podcast, it's a video of KJP in her zoot suit with a very, very shrunken head. And it looks fucking hilarious. So Peter Doocy actually went out on his own to do his own TikTok and gave his side of that whole altercation. I think he kind of had to because he couldn't really get his own word in.
Outside the West Wing of the White House, where this week, one of my questions about foreign aid versus hurricane relief was called misinformation.
President Biden responded saying, show me your budget and I will tell you what you value. If he's got money for people in Lebanon right now, without Congress having to come back, what does it say about his values? There's not enough money right now for
His
people
values,
in North Carolina. That's not misinformation.
Wait, no, that is your whole premise of the question is misinformation, sir. What you do? Yes, it's misinformation.
I've got the information right here. The vice president is posting on social media about $157 million in additional assistance to the people of Lebanon. President Biden is posting about how the Small Business Administration's disaster loan program is going to run out of funding if Congress does not come back. To a lot of people watching these briefings, a taxpayer dollar is a taxpayer dollar is a taxpayer dollar. That is not misinformation. That is a fact.
Boom.
Smoked.
Yeah. They're going on the offensive or the defensive right now because they know they're kind of fucked. Even the recent polls came out and said Trump is leading.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I mean, this hurricane stuff hasn't been good for anybody, but I think it is going to sway some of the public to going more Trump. Just seeing the failure, the Biden administration has done for relief for these people.
Yeah, when they can see the money flying over their head to a different country and they're sitting there knee deep in water or their shit's gone, it changes you. It changes a lot of perspective on that, and you go, what the fuck? My government's supposed to be taking care of me with my money, and it's taking care of some side bitch.
I mean, Trump's not even president, and he's working with Elon Musk to get Starlink down in North Carolina. Like,
right?
And Biden hasn't done anything. Seems like.
Well, do you have that clip of Biden calling Trump out? It was yesterday about not doing anything. I'm like, you're the fucking president, dipshit. Why are you calling out someone that's not even the current president? You have the power to do whatever you want. You have the pen. Write an executive decision. You do it when you want to do it, but you're not doing it now.
I did not see that.
You didn't see that?
No. It doesn't surprise me, though, because they're trying to hide this shit. They're trying to memory hole so many things right now to help Kamala win. It's an obvious ploy by the mainstream media. I think I saw recently that Zuckerberg has been red pilled too. Like he literally has been red pilled. So maybe he's going to start easing up on some of the censorship on his platform. Obviously, Elon in X, he does, he's flying the "I don't give a fuck" flag. So maybe at some point, Facebook starts to lighten up a little bit and stops hiding so much.
Didn't Zuckerberg finally admit that the Democrats were influencing the election via Facebook?
Yeah.
Yes. They were pushing him to censor things and keep any good side stuff out.
Well, they found out recently that for a fact 2016 was a Democratic operation to try to overthrow or alter the results via social media and everything else and censorship. And the same for 2020. Everything came out. One was done by the FBI. The other one was done by the CIA.
Man, they dogged us for that too, didn't they?
Yep.
Saying we're a bunch of liars and misinformation. And now it seems to come true. A lot of things seem to come true. Interesting.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that really quick.
I sent that link in the chat.
Okay. Let me get to this really quick, just because it's fresh.
Evidence that the FBI interfered in the 2016 election. And then when they failed to get their candidate elected, Hillary Clinton, then they just set out to destroy the Trump administration. So then go up to 2020. It was the CIA this time that got involved in the 2020 election with those 51 former intel agents who talked about the Hunter Biden laptop as total Russian disinformation. So they've gotten away with it for 2 elections. They're for sure going to get away with it, try to get away with it in 24, right? Because there's no consequence. The difference is in 2024, the evidence is there. We now have the Durham investigation. We have all the congressional investigations. There is now hard evidence that there was election interference by the U.S. intelligence agencies and the Department of Justice. They've got to be terrified, those individuals have to be terrified that a Republican president comes in the 2024 election with a Republican attorney general, investigates them and charges them all with the crimes they've committed over the last 8 years.
Well, we'll see about that. You're right.
Wow.
It gets deep.
But you just watch Fox News, so it's just one-sided.
Yeah.
Misinformation.
If it's the CIA and FBI, it gets deep. And if it's that deep, it's probably much deeper than that. So here's what Armando was talking about with Biden. Oh, this better not load a fucking commercial first. Come on, stupid thing.
You live in the country, don't you?
I have fiber. Oh, that was a commercial. Fucking shit.
Fucking commercial.
Let's get that.
All people impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Despite the misinformation and lies, the truth is we're providing the resources needed to rescue, recover, and rebuild. Our fellow Americans are putting their lives on the line to do this dangerous work and receive death penalties. Some receive death penalties as a result of reckless, irresponsible, relentless disinformation and outright lies that continue to flow. Those who engage in such lies are undermining confidence in the rescue and recovery work that's opening and ongoing. As I speak, they're continuing. These lies are also harmful to those who most need help. Lives are on the line. People are in desperate situations. Have the decency to tell them the truth.
On FEMA funding, how much time does Congress have to act before FEMA or the SBA run out of money?
I think in terms of the SBA, it's pretty right at the edge right now. And I think the Congress should be coming back and moving on emergency needs immediately. They're going to have to come back after the election as well.
There's a lot of fishiness going on in that fucking tale.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have to focus so hard when he's talking to actually understand what he's saying.
He sounds like a record playing being played backwards.
What the hell?
A lot of fishiness going on, folks, and it has to do with censorship. They're trying to censor a lot of people. They're trying to censor the truth. And like Elon said during his speech in Butler last week, this is a must-win. We're fucked if Kamala wins. She's going to censor. She's going to stomp on the First Amendment. Then she's going to stomp on the Second Amendment.
Should take all of them out.
And if she does that, then the Fourth Amendment is right behind, because they're going to walk into our houses. They're going to try to take away our guns. They're going to try to take away your computer so you can't post quote-unquote misinformation anymore.
Yeah, just start taking your cameras and everything, so you can't record anymore. They're going to outlaw cameras in phones anymore. Smartphones will be outdated anymore. You can't have a camera to record anything because you can't have receipts.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen after that is they're going to implement a social grading system like they do in, I think it's in China. It's effectively a credit score for your social behavior.
Damn,
jaywalk. They capture you on video and ding your credit score. It's crazy.
Yeah. If you say something online that they think is misinformation, they ding you.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you can't buy a fucking chicken sandwich because you don't have enough credit score on your good social behavior.
You know, being a police officer, I used to have the thought, like, it could never go this far because the vast majority of cops are Republicans and they're going to do the right thing, you know, even if the government tells them to do something that's morally not right. But then COVID happened, and I saw a lot of people just drinking the Kool-Aid, and things got really weird for a while. But we're starting to get back on the right path, but I don't know. I don't know how that would go if all our rights are taken away.
So I'm glad you mentioned that, because there was a sheriff in North Carolina that actually sounds like he's going in the direction we want him to. So listen to this.
Our God-given rights. And it says when government becomes destructive to these ends, meaning when they go above and beyond trying to secure our liberties and trying to take them, it's the right of the people to alter or abolish that government, either by voting or ultimately, God forbid, to use our Second Amendment rights to protect ourselves from tyranny. And I'm just asking all of y'all to unanimously join our sister counties of Wilkes, Surrey, Stokes, Lincoln, and Cherokee and get on board with this thing and publicly demonstrate to us that you're willing to uphold and honor the same oath I took when I put my hand on God's word and held my other hand up to him and swore that I'd give my life to defend that Constitution. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but regardless of what y'all do or don't do, I'm not going to enforce an unconstitutional law. I'm going to
Yeah, there's more sheriffs out there like that. Bianco in Riverside, California is like that. Lamb here in Pinal.
Yeah, he's great.
Mark Lamb. He'll be gone, but I think Teeple is the candidate running for his spot, and I think he's pretty much has it locked. to get that.
Is he
spot.
the sheriff that
he's-
lives behind you?
Yeah.
We got to get him on the podcast. Why hasn't this happened yet?
Because he's on Fox all the time. I'm like, I'm not Fox. I'm just the neighbor.
Yeah, just the neighbor. Just
We
the
got
neighbor
a few down here in Florida too. Good sheriffs.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So there's some. There's the few in Texas that kind of holding the same torch. There's a couple. I think there's a bunch of Montana.
Yes.
So you got certain areas where there's. It's funny is that one of the most outspoken ones is Bianco in Riverside in Southern California, and it's like that's that. Get east of L.A. and all of a sudden, the demographic and the ideals change a lot.
Yeah. Well, they showed a map recently of California, blue versus red. And as soon as you hit Riverside, it turns all red. It's basically Riverside towards going west, it's blue. And there's pockets of red along the coast, like Laguna, Santa Monica.
Yeah, in Orange County. So you get down Orange County, you get to San Diego, you get it stays red, but it's basically along all the way down the coast, inland 40, 50 miles, it's going to be blue for the most part, all the way from Mexico to Oregon. That's what the demographic looks like there. But that's
why we need an electoral, because we can't let just California or Los Angeles and New York City speak for the entire country.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Walz has already said that he doesn't want to have an electoral process.
Right.
Yeah.
He wants to get rid of it. And once the Democrats start saying that, they know they're fucked. I think they know they're in trouble.
That sounds
they're
like
doing
tyranny.
anything they can to swing their way. It's just what they do and what their mindset is to keep everyone out, keep you in the dark, and tell you everything's fine. Whatever they're saying is wrong. It's fine, and people just drink it up. Drink that up.
Mm-hmm.
They can't admit that what they're backing is shit or has done something bad. There's always like, no, it's just misinformation. It's just what you thinking. It's what you heard. It's whatever. I'm like, no, you got to look at it. We can objectively. I know all three of us are Republicans. I'm probably a little more center leaning than anything, but I push more to the conservative ways and conservative manners. But voting for Trump is not because I love him, because he's perfect. He hasn't done anything wrong. I know he's done shit wrong, but what he's done right far outweighs the shit he's done wrong, and his ideal for what he wants to do for this country and how he sees the country being prosperous and going back to what we were in our heyday of manufacturing in our country, having good jobs, having affordable housing. The liberals keep using this term affordable housing, but they've jacked the prices of everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep talking about this affordable housing. Like, you cannot do that. It's just,
well, they've gone from
get back.
They've gone from affordable housing to housing crisis, which is bullshit.
Which they've created.
Yeah. Well, there is no housing crisis. There's 3 houses across the street from me right now for sale. They've been for sale for 3 months.
Yeah, but why? Because interest rates are too high. The cost is out of hand. Everything, the cost to build the house, the cost to furnish a house, the cost to get everything in that house done has now increased because fuel pricing, wage hikes. The guy that used to make $15 an hour at the lumber yard now has to make $30 an hour because $15 an hour he can go work at McDonald's.
Yep.
So all that shifts. All of that has to shift. My wife does HR for the county, and they can't bring in lower level people because they have to compete with $17 an hour that the Burger King around the corner is paying. How do you compete with that?
It's crazy.
So now they have to salary survey. There's something on the books now where they're trying to get a minimum wage in Arizona to $18 an hour. It's like, wow. Okay. So that just shifts everybody's pay at the county level. So your basic admin that's making $16 an hour, $17 an hour now is going to have to make, what, 22, 23 to keep them from not leaving and going to work for your McDonald's?
Mm-hmm.
And it all costs. It all costs. It takes your property taxes go up with that. Everything goes up. Everything you do goes up.
Yeah, I really worry about, so as a police officer, you get hired and you have to have a bachelor's degree where I work, and you're lucky if you find an agency around here that'll start you around $70,000. The average house down here in South Florida is, I'd say, probably $550,000 to $600,000.
Mm-hmm.
These new officers that just got out of college, have college debt or whatever, there is zero chance they will ever own a house unless they come across some money from their family or something like that. I mean, it's impossible. You're taking home $1,500 every 2 weeks. Like, your mortgage is going to be $4,000, $4,500.
Yep,
it's crazy.
Yeah, the local police department out here just put out a Facebook post that they're hiring, and starting salary is $32,000. If you're an unconfirmed officer, and if you're confirmed officer, it's $35,000. And I guess the difference is you've gone through prior training or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not exactly
training
sure what all that
institute.
means.
Yeah.
But even in Tennessee, things are going up. And trying to buy a house on a $35,000 income, not going to get you very much.
Who's going to want to do that? Being a police officer in the United States is probably the most high liability job there is, right? I don't know another job that if you screw up by accident, you can go to prison the rest of your life. So for $35,000 a year, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, just the ideal of what they've turned the profession into in the public eye, the nannying, all of the stuff that has to happen behind it. Who would want to do that? And to make nothing for it. Like, come on. At least here, Pinnell, I think they start around 65, 70. For coming in, they send you to the academy. You go out and do stuff, and you go work a beat. So
Right.
$70,000, which is okay, but here, you want to buy an average house at here is probably going to be $450.
Yeah, it's
a small house, $400.
And the thing that sucks is a lot of these officers are doing side jobs, security off hours to make up for. Yeah. And departments are saying now you can't do that. They're taking away that right and privilege of working after hours to supplement their income.
Right.
So it's tough. It's got to be super tough for the young guys, but especially for the older guys that, are still trying to make ends meet as a veteran officer.
Yep.
Yeah, totally.
But it's everything. I mean, just a normal career, like where you think you're doing okay making $50,000 a year, and you're now living in poverty land.
Mm-hmm.
$50,000 is poverty level still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've said it before. I'm glad we bought our house when we did, just before the rates went up. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to afford this house. I mean, it'd be crazy.
Soon enough, there's not going to be a middle class, unfortunately, if we're still on this trajectory.
Yeah. Well, just like the political lines have shifted, I think that's going to shift too at some point. You're right.
I hope so.
Because the Democrats have started to go just super extreme left, which has shifted the political lines. People that were moderates are now voting Republican because the line crossed them. they're realizing, shit, I used to think this way, and now these people that I used to align myself with are just they sound batshit crazy.
Yeah,
and these people that I used to argue against are sounding more realistic and like me.
Yeah, there was a video someone sent me, and it was a younger girl, asking her grandmother how you're voting. She goes, "I vote Democrat," and she goes, "Why?" "Well, because I've always voted Democrat." And then he goes, oh, and she asked her questions like, "Okay, what do you feel about abortion?" "Oh no, I don't want to vote for abortion." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's really not it." "How do you feel about this? How about that? How about Social Security? How about this?" And everything that she said, the Democrats are totally against. I'm like, you need to be voting Republican, Grandma. Like, come on. Yeah. Like you need to understand that things have shifted. You're just voting for the D. People that just vote for the letter, not knowing anything about what the letter is representing anymore, is a big thing. That's how you get Biden in office.
Crazy.
Yeah, and can't even understand the motherfucker now. I mean, I saw a video of him from 2016, and then it progressed till today, and like he just rapidly got old, especially from 2020.
And he's gotten worse within the last 6 months, I'd say. It's almost like they wrote him off, and I don't know what drugs they were giving him to keep him coherent before, but it seems like they just gave up and stopped doing it because he can't even read a teleprompter right now. I have no idea what the guy's saying. His eyeballs are this closed, and that's the leader of the free world. That is crazy.
And he comes out, surprises the press corps at that one briefing, like jumps on stage. "Hey, it's me. Here I am. Check me out." It's like, dude, hold on a second. Don't let the Adderall just fucking boost your levels really quick. You're going to need to spread that out a little bit if you're going to be talking on stage.
Yeah. Can he get a slow doser and just connect it to his back or something? Just slow dose it in. Just a little piece here and there instead of here, take this. No. Just give him a little at a time.
How is that acceptable, though?
He peaked too soon.
You know, Republican or Democrat aside, wouldn't both sides want somebody as a leader that at least looks like a leader? You know, somebody who could walk up some stairs. Like, it's ridiculous that this is even a thing that we're discussing right now.
We do need some more structure in how we pick our president, though, because I think even Trump is too old, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's got his wits with him. He's still all there, but we need someone that is more like us.
Yeah, I think the position of JD in that position could give us a good leader for the future.
Yeah,
right.
It's not ancient. He's still relatively young, and he could come in there and do the job if that's what they're positioning him for. I think he would be a great fit for that.
I think even Vivek Ramaswamy is also somebody that's pretty coherent.
Yep. It used to be that the most favorable candidate used to have military background experience. And now it seems like you don't really need that anymore.
It's just popularity now. It's not even like you don't even have to have a real background. I mean, Trump he's a businessman that he knows business. He's running the country like a business, and that was good, but that's not a career politician move. So,
well, like you said, when he got voted in, he had a plan. He had a 2-term plan, and then he needed his 2 terms to fulfill that plan. So during his first administration, I think he got a lot done. He was jobbed a little bit with the border. Obviously, they didn't want to meet him halfway and give him money for the border wall or anything like that. But now they see their error and their mistake. They're like, shit, he was right. He was right about a lot of things, and they don't want to admit it, but they're slowly admitting it in their own way, which is bullshit.
They're all changing too. It's the Senate debate last night, Carrie Lake and Ruben Gallego, and the biggest thing was the border, and how the border wall. And he's like, no, I want to build it now. I'm like, what the fuck? You are the ones that voted to take it, to stop it, and now you're okay. Well, we made a mistake. Now we're going back.
Yeah.
All right. So,
I mean, even the Democrats turned their back on RFK Jr., which was pretty wild to me. That whole family has been Democrat since that kid was saluting.
It's crazy. They make him out to be some kind of conspiracy theorist because he questions the quality of our vaccines and the process that goes behind vaccines, right? Which I think he has every right to question, what's going into these and doing more research into that. And they write him off as being a conspiracy theorist just because he wants that known to the nation. Like, here's what it is. Here's how it affects you. And you should be able to choose what goes into your body. It doesn't seem like a crazy concept to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was recently at a hearing, a congressional hearing about censorship. And there was a Democratic woman there. Jim Jordan was the chair. And this woman was trying to take away RFK's time. So Jim Jordan's like, hey, hold on a second. We brought him here to talk about censorship. And it's kind of ironic that you're trying to take away his time to talk about censorship. You're censoring him.
Yeah.
You're censoring the censorship guy.
So they finally yield time to RFK Jr. And he goes on and says, you guys have lied about me since the beginning. You said that I'm against vaccines. I'm not against vaccines. I've been vaccinated. I've taken the flu vaccination. I've taken other vaccinations. I just haven't taken the COVID vaccination. So he goes on and says that everything that has been said about him has been a lie, and that everything that he has said has been called misinformation, but he's calling it malinformation. So it's basically correct and valid sourced information, but the people that don't want that information to get out are telling people that it's a lie, and that's the new word for it, is malinformation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we're seeing more of that with these people that not just politics. Look at Kanye. Kanye went in this whole thing on how industry's fucked up, and they said, "Oh, he just lost his mind." Now you're like, "Fuck, he was right." He was. Yeah. Dave Chappelle, when he went in his freaking whatever, he was tired of the bullshit. He lost his mind apparently, but no, he came to his mind. He came to his senses is what happened. And that's the problem, is that they don't like you coming to your senses. They want you to just follow along. Play nice, boy.
Yeah.
It is odd that there's not anybody I can think of that comes to mind that's a Republican in Hollywood.
There's a few.
It seems rare.
Jimmy
there's
Woods.
the ones that there's those I think Kevin Costner coming with create his own studio that's more Republican based, and he's got a couple partners that are kind of the guys that are on that side. And his studio.
Who's the guy that made the movie about the child trafficking? Jim something. I can't remember his name, but he's Republican.
Now, when they do that, are they like wrote off?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get blacklisted because you don't fit in, and you're not going to follow the protocol.
Right.
They're not going to hire you.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. Just you're not going to be hired because you're not following along.
I actually do have a friend. He's in a few movies. He was actually in Roadhouse, that Amazon movie lately. I won't say his name because I don't know. He's already having enough trouble, but he's said that because of his political views, there's been some censorship as to what movies he's allowed to be in and stuff like that. So it's all a game, I'm sure.
So here's a list. Here's just a quick list of Republican actors: Gina Carano, William Barber, John Voight, Dean Cain, Kurt Russell, Gary Sinise, who we've seen many times do stuff for our veterans.
The Gary Sinise Foundation's great.
Yep. Kevin Sorbo, Kid Rock, Tom Berenger, Andy Garcia, Bill Engvall, Kathy Ireland, Freddie Prinze Jr., Paul Sorvino, James. Well, this is an old actor, but James Cagney. I mean, the list is pretty good. Angie Harmon, Drew Carey.
All right, so they're out there a little bit.
They're out there. Sylvester Stallone. Yeah.
Yeah, there's out there. I think Sylvester Stallone is in that studio with Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's see here. Kelsey Grammer, Tom Selleck. A lot of these actors are dead now, but they were or are Republicans. Adam Sandler, James Woods, who I mentioned earlier. Kirk Cameron. I mean, obviously he's been blackballed because he's very conservative and very evangelical. Jim Caviezel is who I was thinking of that made that movie. He played in Passion of the Christ also. Let's see.
That was a good movie.
Ben Stein. Ben Stein is a conservative. I had no idea. Larry the Cable Guy, obviously. Jim Foxworthy, obviously.
That child trafficking one. If anybody hasn't seen that, man, that's especially if you have kids, that'll hit you.
I've been wanting to see it, but I'm avoiding it because I know I'll probably get emotional.
Yeah.
And pissed off at the same time.
No doubt.
But yeah. This list is going on and on and on. There's over 120 of them listed here. So they're there. It's just a lot of them probably don't put out that they're super conservative. For obvious reasons, they want to work. But yeah. I think more and more people will start to, like I said, that line is going to shift, and people will more and more cross over that line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as things keep changing the way they are, and that industry kind of getting the shit that's been coming out of it is going to take out some people. So yeah. It'll be interesting to see, like, all of this that's happening with Puffy right now, with all his list of party lists and all that information coming out. We still haven't seen the other client list from Epstein.
Right.
It's crazy.
And where's that? That's just been buried like for 5 years. Like, how is that not out?
Right.
You know, if Trump's name was on there, it would have been out right away.
For sure.
It would have been out. If there was anyone relevant that they could actually use against them, it would be out. But it's not. They're hiding. They're protecting.
Yeah.
Trump says he's going to release it, among other things. The JFK files and, some alien stuff, too.
Well, we already know aliens are real.
Yeah. I tend to believe that we're ignorant to think that there's no other form of life form out there in the entire galaxy.
I think I might have talked about this on the podcast before, but my theory is that the ancients that have pictographs and everything that's on walls and paintings and everything else that look like an angel or a winged figure is an alien. Maybe. Because there was really no other way for them to describe a figure coming down from the sky. There wasn't a word for an alien, really. There wasn't a word for spacecraft or aircraft.
The pyramids are crazy, man. So we still don't know how those were built.
Well, come on. There's pyramids in Mexico. We know exactly how they were built. The Mexicans built them. Maybe they sent Mexicans over to fucking Egypt. The Mexicans built those pyramids and then came back.
Sheetrocked overnight.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. It's like they question who built the pyramids in Egypt, but there's just as impressive pyramids in Mexico. The Mexicans built, and no one questions that. So it's
I think the biggest pyramid in the world is in Mexico, isn't it?
It's in Mexico. Yeah, they have humongous pyramids. The Mexicans built them without any tools or whatever.
And there's one that
has
a little
fucking 5'3" Mexicos.
Yeah, a bunch of Juans and Jose's and Chewies. When over here, you put that one a little more to the left.
way.
So I guess we should end it here. Armando does have to leave early today. He's got something to do. So we're approaching that time period, and I think this is a good ending point. So we'll end this here. Austin, what's the website?
Liftedforless.com.
And what can they buy?
You can buy everything, man. Everything you need for your Jeep, truck, Bronco, we got it.
Nice. Armando?
Rub1.com. Get your cleaning supplies, and soon enough we'll have Rub1 on Lifted for Less too, so you can get your rubbing on at Lifted for Less.
We'll make that happen.
Hell yeah.
So we'll get that working here soon.
Awesome.
Austin, thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you being a sponsor for us.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Good.
All right,
good
everyone.
To hang out with you for a little bit.
Yeah, you bet.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
See ya.